Hello, hello. How
Nice.
are you, Rowan?
I'm doing really well. How are you, Ashlee?
I am doing well. Yes, I love when we log on to these and you see all of both familiar faces and new faces coming on. It's always exciting.
Yes, it really is. It really is. It's almost the best part. It's like everyone's coming.
I know it's so hard when you see faces or names that you haven't seen in a while. You want to reach out and be like, hi. So I'm just going to give a blanket hello. It is
Hello.
so nice to see you here. We'll give just a minute for everybody to get in and get comfortable. We always say at the beginning of these, if you don't have a pen and paper, it's a great time to grab one or grab your iPad if you're more digital. I'm the old school notebook. I'm slowly trying to transition to my iPad. The Apple Pencil is fantastic, but I haven't made it yet. That good old pen and paper is still my favorite. But grab one. There's chock full of information in this webinar, so lots to take in. Oh, man. What are you most excited for, Rowan?
Oh gosh. Oh, this is
All of
that's
these.
a tough question. This is a really full webinar. I'm excited to just offer the information and hopefully, if again, pen and paper, or if you're up for screenshotting, we've got a lot of details in here. So feel free to screenshot some of these more detailed screens. They're really important.
Yeah.
And look at all these beautiful people. Hello from Amsterdam. Hi,
Yeah.
Sophie.
So cool. Well, I know we still have a few people trickling in, but I know that we have a ton of information to get to, and we're going to try our best to condense it down to an hour. And I want to honor everybody who is here. So I'm ready to get started if you are.
I am. Let's do it.
Awesome. Let's do it. So, coaching and cardiovascular care at the heart of the matter. So much to cover here around working with clients who might have cardiovascular conditions or even risk factors for them. So, we're going to jump right in. And in case you don't know us, my name is Ashlee Honeycutt. I am the Director of Health Coaching Operations here at YourCoach Health, as well as a certified health and wellness coach. And I'm joined here by Rowan.
Hello, I'm Rowan. I'm the health coach coordinator here at YourCoach and also board certified health coach. Happy to be here.
Yes. So excited to dig into this with you because it was so fun putting this together because, well, Rowan and I both are board certified health coaches. Just like you guys, we all coach just a little bit differently. And it was so neat to see those styles come together and how we approach different things differently. So I hope that the dynamic provides some value to you and that you resonate with some of the coaching techniques we're going to talk through as well. So for those of you that don't know us at YourCoach yet, allow me to officially introduce YourCoach Health. Welcome. We are the all-in-one, end-to-end, HIPAA-compliant practice management platform that's designed specifically for health and wellness coaches like you. So with YourCoach, you have access to all the tools you need to work with your clients in one convenient space. That includes things like chat, video sessions, session notes, and a library that has robust resources that we include in there for our coaches. And we continue building, which is super exciting, as well as the ability to add your own resources. But we don't just stop there. We're also committed to supporting health coaches like you through webinars with legal experts, business coaches, and other resources like this one on cardiovascular care to help you level up your practice. Now, what sets us apart at YourCoach is that we are the only operating system for behavior change powered by health and wellness coaches. And we're forging partnerships with organizations across all different industries to communicate the unmatched value that health coaching can offer their clients, members, and talent. By matching individuals with validated and credentialed coaches like you who are actively practicing on the YourCoach platform, or could be you if you're not yet, we're providing hands-on support to clients as they grow through their individualized coaching programs. So through all of these new partnerships, we're creating a health coaching ecosystem built to empower coaches to deliver their services to even more individuals across the globe. Our mission is to introduce health coaching to more individuals, organizations, and communities than ever before, championing that real health change that comes through verified science-backed methodologies. And as a healthcare system, we're seeing it transform rapidly into a well-care system, which is so exciting. And health coaches are spearheading that paradigm shift to fulfill the growing demand for a holistic approach to health. So our goal and our mission here at YourCoach is to help create a world where by the year 2030, all 8.5 billion projected people in the world will have access to health coaches and become happier and healthier humans, which is what we're here to talk about, happier and healthier humans.
I love it. I love it. Such a beautiful mission. So before we get started, I'd love to just invite you all to take a moment and consider cardiovascular coaching. What does that mean to you?
Yeah.
Does it have a charge, or do you feel confident, maybe a little apprehensive? Just slow down for a moment before we get started and consider any feelings that come up for you around this idea of coaching in the area of heart health. If you have a pen and paper or something digital, please take a moment to jot down any of your thoughts or words that come up for you around this idea. And as you know by now, as Ashlee just shared, we believe that health coaches are truly special and critical pillars of the healthcare team. So we invite you to take this opportunity to rest and reflect and take care of yourself too. This opportunity is a time to learn, but it's also an opportunity to be in community with other coaches and clients and professionals who care about heart health. So we thank you for taking the time to be here with us, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
So just to give a brief overview, we can truly make an impact. We can have such a significant impact on the quality of life, healthcare costs, workplace productivity, economical impact, and overall health that's associated with clients who have cardiovascular conditions. In the area of quality of life, we know we can support clients in making lifestyle changes that improve their quality of life, like adopting a healthy diet or increasing physical activity, maybe even reducing their stress. And by helping clients manage their cardiovascular conditions, coaches can also help our clients maintain independence and therefore overall well-being. We can impact healthcare costs in so many ways. Cardiovascular diseases are a leading cause of healthcare costs worldwide, and health coaches can help clients to understand and follow their prescribed treatment plans, which can, in turn, reduce the need for hospitalizations, emergency room visits, and costly medications. We can improve workplace productivity. And our clients who have cardiovascular conditions do experience workplace reduced productivity and absenteeism, missed work days, decreased concentration and fatigue. So health coaches can support our clients to make these lifestyle changes that improve their health, and that can lead to increased workplace productivity, but also engagement, satisfaction, reduced absenteeism, and all of the benefits for the client themselves. Cardiovascular disease has a huge economical impact, and it can significantly influence individuals, families, and society. As coaches, we can help clients manage their heart health and reduce this economic burden associated with these diseases. And lastly, the overall health of our clients can be improved by making these lifestyle changes and by addressing modifiable risk factors, such as unhealthy diet, lack of physical activity, tobacco use, and stress. And health coaches can help their clients to achieve optimal health outcomes, reducing their risk of developing other chronic diseases. And like Ashlee said, we are on a mission here at YourCoach to create a world of happy, healthy humans. And this is why we're all here today.
Absolutely. Now, the stat that always makes my heart skip a beat: cardiovascular diseases are the leading cause of death worldwide. So they're responsible for over 17 million deaths annually. These diseases can cause things like chest pains, heart attacks, strokes, heart failure, and so on. All of these things impact a person's ability to carry out their daily activities and lead to long-term health problems. In fact, the latest study out of the Journal of the American College of Cardiology suggests that less than 7% of all American adults are in good cardiometabolic shape. And the year-by-year analysis that they're tracking shows that the trend is only getting worse. So that just sat with me because 7% is not a lot. it hurts, a rise in the percentage of overweight or obese people, as well as an increase in the population's blood glucose levels, were the two main factors that the researchers identified as responsible for that decline. And the cost of treating and managing cardiovascular conditions can be very high, and they can have indirect costs, just like Rowan was talking about with those lost productivity and decreased quality of life. As health coaches, it's crucial that we're aware of the prevalence of cardiovascular conditions and the impact of the disease, and equip our clients with the necessary knowledge and tools to be able to manage their cardiovascular health better. So, who's most at risk? We've thrown out like these really dark stats. That's the word that comes to mind when I think about it. So who's most at risk? It's crucial for health coaches to be able to identify and address risk factors and do so sensitively to prevent or manage the conditions effectively. Now, remember, we're not diagnosing, we're not treating, but we're helping our clients to navigate a diagnosis they may have received or a risk factor that they're aware of. Now, the CDC, which is Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, identifies several risk factors that increase the likelihood of developing hypertension, which is a leading risk factor for cardiovascular disease. So these risk factors include things like being over 60 years old, being overweight or obese, having physical inactivity, having a family history of high blood pressure, being of African American ethnicity, consuming a high amount of salt, smoking or using tobacco, and excessive alcohol consumption, as well as having certain chronic conditions such as diabetes, kidney disease, or sleep apnea. By identifying and addressing these risk factors, health coaches can help their clients reduce their risk of developing cardiovascular diseases and improve their overall health and well-being. So now that we have these stats, how can we help?
It's important to start with some of these things, that aren't as pleasant to communicate about, but then we move into how we can help. And that's really where we're going to go. But let's keep following through with how is this such a big deal, right? We can help our clients by having a strong understanding of these conditions to better support them in making these lifestyle changes that can absolutely improve heart health. Cardiovascular diseases like heart disease and stroke are among the leading cause of death. There's a huge prevalence. So we want to make sure that we will most likely work with someone who has these conditions, and all of us are at risk for developing them. So we want to make sure that we prevent it for ourselves as well. There's an impact on health that we can really make changes around, and these diseases have a significant impact on overall health, affecting quality of life, like I said, mobility and independence. So having a strong understanding of these conditions can help you better support your clients to manage their symptoms and improve that overall health. Yeah. The lifestyle factors like physical activity levels, dietary habits, and stress levels play a significant role in development and management of these conditions. And these health factors are modifiable. It's a key word here. They're within reach of optimizing through behavior change, and we are behavior change experts. When we are empowered with the knowledge, we can offer that to our clients and make a huge impact. We can use goal setting. Cardiovascular conditions can be really complex and challenging to manage. So when you have a strong understanding of these conditions, you can help your clients set realistic and achievable goals for improving their health. We've all experienced it before, and there's nothing quite more satisfying than walking alongside a client who sets and achieves their goals. And lastly, collaboration. Effective management of cardiovascular conditions requires a multidisciplinary approach. And this includes collaborating with healthcare providers, nutritionists, caregivers, and family, and other specialists on our client's healthcare team. When you have a strong understanding of these conditions, you can better support your clients in coordinating care, accessing resources, and really helping them to manage their health. So having a strong understanding of how we can make impacts around cardiovascular concerns is essential. As coaches, we want to provide effective and compassionate support to clients who have prioritized heart health, and we have the power to do that.
Absolutely. And that's the good news, right? The good news is that health coaches are primed to provide support, and they're experts in behavior change. So these lifestyle factors are well within our reach to assist clients with. So managing these chronic conditions is essential to maintaining heart health and preventing heart disease. We know this. And studies have actually shown that medication alone, it's not effective in chronic disease management. Lifestyle changes such as healthy eating, regular exercise, smoking cessation, and stress reduction are an important part of that road to optimal health. Plus, again, these are areas that we excel in helping our clients with, and it's clearly within our scope to make this big impact. So let's dive in. We love to break it down and give tangible ways. So we're going to start that. And one place we can work with clients on lifestyle changes is healthy eating. So helping clients to develop strategies to overcome unhealthy eating patterns, such as mindless snacking or overeating, maybe routines around some cultural foods that aren't supporting their heart health. We can help them find healthier recipes to modify those. We can do all kinds of things here with healthy eating. And numerous studies have shown that a diet high in saturated and trans fats, cholesterol, salt, that are also low in fruits and vegetables and whole grains increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. So in fact, there was a meta-analysis of 19 studies found that each daily serving of fruits and vegetables was associated with a 7% reduction in the risk of heart disease. So in other words, each day a person has the choice to reduce their risk of heart disease by choosing to add fruits and vegetables to their plate. That's pretty cool. That's a nice, easy way. Definitely makes me want to include a fruit or veggie with every snack or meal. It's a new goal of mine. I'm putting it out there now. Y'all can hold me accountable. So a coach can support a client with the healthy eating patterns in some specific ways. So one of those is by collaborating with the client to create an individualized nutrition plan that aligns with their preferences, goals, and health needs. Now, it's important here to pause and remember, we are not dietitians or nutritionists, so we cannot prescribe a specific meal plan, but we can work to help them implement one that they were given by a clinician, or we can help them build healthier eating habits into their daily routines. So just like that idea of adding a fruit or a vegetable into their day, that is definitely something we can work with a client on. We can also provide education and resources on healthy food choices, meal planning, and portion sizes. So this is where you can lean on resources such as the American Heart Association, the CDC, Harvard MyPlate, any of those that are out there. We can equip our clients with that knowledge. We can also encourage clients to try new foods, new cooking methods, or new recipes to expand their food choices. We can help them build these ideas into their goals and come up with an actionable step that's going to actually work for them. I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but I know in my past, I have been given meal plans from trainers, or I was really into CrossFit. I was actually a CrossFit trainer. I don't know how many of you know that about me, but we were often in our gym doing different health challenges, and we had someone on staff who would give meal plans, and I would get those, and I'm like, well, this is great, but it doesn't account for me being on the go. I've got kids, we're in the car. Like, I get that you want me to make this great lunch, but it doesn't work for me, right? So a health coach can definitely step back and help clients find ways to put those plans into action. And then also identifying and addressing common barriers to healthy eating. So these could be things like emotional eating, lack of time, or limited access to healthy foods. Again, we want to work within our scope. Sometimes things like emotional eating can take us out of our scope. So we want to be very mindful of that. But we can definitely work around them if the client's able to identify that and is ready to move forward with those. So we can help them create that plan.
But just talking about it is exciting. I know, it makes me want to just get all the veggies. Isn't it amazing though that I think we can make such an impact? It's so exciting. So moving on to exercise and movement, we can add that to our proverbial plate as well in a way that we can help our clients. And different types of exercise means something different to everyone. So that's really the first place to start. What is exercise to you, right? Like, what's fun to you? Some people love the gym. Ashlee loves CrossFit, competitive sports, and more traditional forms of exercise, while others love to dance or box like Marina, or fence, or learn something new like longsword fighting. That's my new latest thing. What is exercise? It's different for everyone, but at the bottom of it all, it's movement. It's movement that helps to rehabilitate and make our hearts strong. So we'll dive into some exercise studies for some better understanding. A meta-analysis of 22 studies found that people who were physically active had 30% lower risk of developing heart disease than those who were inactive. And that's based on the CDC's recommendations of activity, which is at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity and exercise, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity. And then additionally, the CDC, many of us know if we've studied for this national board exam, also adding in exercises with weights. They recommend that all adults engage in muscle strengthening activities at least 2 days a week. And again, finding the types of activities that a person enjoys and is interested in doing is the answer to that. And I love this quote by the American College of Sports Medicine. It says, "The best exercise is the one you'll do. And the people are more likely to do something if it's fun." So true. So what are some ways that we can build in exercise and movement with our clients as we improve, work to improve physical activity and health around heart? One, we can assess the client's current physical activity levels and help them set realistic goals. We can collaborate with the client to create a personalized exercise plan that fits their preferences, their schedule, and their physical abilities. Like Ashlee said, we can get a diet plan and it doesn't fit our life. So same thing goes with exercise. We want to make sure that it fits into the schedule of our life. We can provide guidance on the types of physical activity that can help the client achieve their goals, like strength training or aerobic exercise or stretching, again, staying within scope.
Yep.
If we're not personal trainers, we don't need to be giving prescriptive anything around movement, but we can encourage clients to find enjoyable physical activities that are more likely to stick. And that creates sustainable change, which is what we all would love to see. So, I did not know, Ashlee, that you were a CrossFit trainer. See, we learn something new every day.
You learn something new, yes. So while there's lots of heart healthy things that we can start doing, sometimes it's also necessary to consider things we may want to stop doing as part of our new healthy behaviors. And smoking is a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke. So the chemicals in cigarette smoke damage the lining of the blood vessels, which leads to a buildup of plaque that can cause heart attacks and strokes. So according to the American Heart Association, smoking is the most preventable cause of premature death in the United States, and it increases the risk of heart disease and stroke by 2 to 4 times. So again, that's a really big opportunity for impact when we're talking about heart health. And when a coach is working with a client to address that smoking cessation, they may want to incorporate some coaching techniques such as understanding the client's perspective when it comes to the benefits of quitting versus the health impacts of smoking, and really exploring this and talking it out with their client. This is a great opportunity to use a decisional balance tool, which, by the way, if you're a coach on our platform, you'll find there's a great decisional balance worksheet within the coach's resources folder. You can also develop a strategy that is client-centered without judgment or harassment. We're really creating that safe space where they feel comfortable sharing their struggles and comfortable exploring trying new things. We can also help clients set a quit date and develop a personalized plan for quitting. So this comes back to that previous point of really listening without judgment, right? We have to be able to sit in that space. We can also provide guidance and support to access resources for smoking cessation strategies. So this could be things like nicotine replacement therapy, medication, behavioral counseling, maybe. Now remember, we can't prescribe these things to our clients, but we can equip clients with resources so they can choose their next step. We can also encourage clients to seek support from family, friends, or other support groups. We all know the power of support. And of course, we can provide ongoing coaching and support to help clients stay motivated and then avoid that relapse. So we can really lean into the trans-theoretical model of change for this one to see where they're at on that continuum. And heads up, actually, our next CEU opportunity that Rowan and I are doing on March 15th is all about re-engaging clients. And also we chat a lot about the trans-theoretical model of change. So, and how to meet clients where they're at. So if you're interested in that, we would love to see you again for that one. Unintentional plug right there, but it's so helpful.
It's exciting. We always have something on the horizon.
Yeah.
And so finally, let's address stress, talking about quitting smoking, a lot of times people use smoking to manage their stress. And so we really want to be able to provide some more additional resources on how we can manage stress. And we all experience stress to varying degrees. A health coach can work to address stress reduction in general, and as well, linking it to improved cardiovascular health. And some of the ways that coaches might do that around stress is by helping clients to identify their source of stress and the physical and emotional symptoms of stress that they are experiencing. Maybe they're noticing that their sleep is disrupted or something like that. So we can help them to identify.
Or teenagers.
Or dogs.
From experience, yeah.
We can provide education on different ideas for stress management techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, progressive muscle relaxation. And beyond that, coaches might demonstrate with them how to practice these techniques. We can encourage our clients to find activities they enjoy, like I spoke about, that promote relaxation and stress relief. That might be yoga. It might be engaging in a hobby. It might be spending time in nature. Again, finding what they love to do is the key here. Some people who think stress relief is just like sitting in lotus posture might actually be like stressing themselves out more. Meditation isn't always easy. And helping clients develop strategies to reduce the source of stress, like improving time management, organization, dealing with clutter, setting healthy boundaries. These can all lead to stress, and we can also create some really beautiful collaboration to help our clients to deal with those issues. And finally, we might collaborate with the client to develop an individualized management plan that really manages stress, identifies and incorporates the techniques that they find most useful and helpful, and then build that into their day in a way that's really sustainable. As health coaches, we are undeniably in a unique position to help clients make positive lifestyle changes, and that can improve their cardiovascular and their overall health. And it's important to understand this interplay between lifestyle and cardiovascular health, and to use that knowledge to inform our coaching decisions. By prioritizing lifestyle change, we can help clients to make lasting improvements, and their cardiovascular health can improve by providing support, guidance through these stages of diagnoses and management, prevention, and we can help them to reduce the risk of developing or continuing down the path of serious health problems in the future. And when we are fully empowered and confident, we can be of great support to our clients. And part of that confidence comes from our knowledge of these conditions and how we can be of support. It can also help us to feel confident when we have the knowledge of the biometrics, which is what we're about to go into. And how many coaches out there have ever felt like they have to be an expert in one area, for example, in cardiovascular disease, before you can say with confidence that you work with clients who have it? Many of us, we expect a lot of ourselves to be experts, and we're going to dive deep into the biometrics, promising that you'll leave this presentation fully confident with these often intimidating numbers.
Yeah.
Take it away, Ashlee. Biometrics.
They can be intimidating.
It can.
There's so many of them. But the good news is we don't have to be experts in them. We just need to have a basic understanding and have those resources available for our clients. So one of the best ways that we can do this is to simply start a conversation with our client and ask what they know about their condition. What do they want to know more about? Just assessing where they're at. And we can look at things when we're talking specifically about heart disease or cardiovascular conditions. We can lean into biometrics that are related to blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and BMI. They're all crucial indicators of a person's risk for heart disease and for stroke. So high blood pressure and high cholesterol levels can both significantly increase a person's risk of developing these conditions, making that regular monitoring of these biometrics essential. So again, this may be something if they're seeing a cardiologist that they have recommended for them to do at home, or the client may come to you and say, hey, I'm really concerned about my blood pressure and I'm not really sure how to monitor it. Well, then we can provide them with resources on how to do that, or maybe a log to do so, right? And we can help them monitor those biometrics through encouraging regular check-ins with their clinician, whether that be a cardiologist or their primary care physician. We can provide them with ideas and resources to track those readings at home. And so that could be anything from including a manual blood pressure cuff to wearable fitness trackers. I love my Apple Watch. It goes everywhere with me and it keeps me on track too. And then through using that, we can stay up to date on the client's biometrics should they choose to share those with us, and take a pulse of the stages of change that they're in as part of that. Now, again, we're not monitoring their biometrics looking for any medical conditions. We are simply using that to assess where they are, stage of change, and how we can support them, right? So if they're tracking their blood pressure and seeing that it's elevated over time, then maybe having that conversation with them about how they're feeling about their logs, what their next steps are with it, then it leads to having that appointment with the clinician, right? And then we can also help them understand the impact of those lifestyle choices on their cardiovascular health and work with them to make positive changes. So ultimately, the idea is that being informed about our clients' biometrics then allows us to provide a more accurate picture of the cardiovascular health and support them in reducing their risk for heart disease and stroke. So through these conversations that we have, we're building trust and we're empowering our clients to take control of their health. And then right into blood pressure. So blood pressure it's the force of blood against the walls of your arteries as your heart pumps it around your body, and it's an important indicator of your cardiovascular health. So when your heart beats, it pumps blood out into your arteries. So remember, arteries are a way. I remember that from biology in school. You got the A and the A, it's easy way. And that causes the pressure to rise. And this is known as your systolic blood pressure. So when your heart's at rest between beats, then the pressure decreases, and this is known as the diastolic blood pressure. Now, blood pressure is usually measured in millimeters of mercury. mmHg is what you'll see the abbreviation as next to it, and it's expressed as two numbers, so such as 120/80 mmHg. So high blood pressure, also known as hypertension, is a common condition that can lead to serious health problems if left untreated. So lifestyle factors such as poor diet, lack of exercise, and stress can all contribute to high blood pressure. As health coaches, it's important to help our clients understand the importance of monitoring their blood pressure regularly and making lifestyle changes to manage it if necessary. So here's a quick little slide here that's from the CDC, and this is the guidelines they provide for blood pressure. Now, just in case you've been a health coach for a while, like me and Rowan, these were updated in 2017. So if you have any materials prior to that, you're going to want to update these with the new ones. And they show these recommendations for normal blood pressure being the systolic, the top number, less than 120, and the diastolic bottom number, less than 80. Then we have elevated blood pressure, which is where the systolic, that top number, is between 120 and 129, and the diastolic is less than 80. So these are right? They have to meet both qualifications. As we move into the stage 1 hypertension, systolic is between 130 and 139, or the diastolic is between 80 and 89. So either one of those numbers being elevated is enough to put them at stage 1. Stage 2 hypertension is where systolic is at least 140, or diastolic is at least 90. And of course, we have the last one, the hypertensive crisis, which is where systolic is over 180, and or could be either, the diastolic is over 120. So I know that's a lot of numbers. Feel free, to take a snap of that really quick, or you can find it on the CDC's website as well. Cholesterol.
How is talking about this so fun? I don't know. We can talk about cholesterol and make it fun. So cholesterol is a type of lipid, and that is essential for the proper functioning of the body. It's a waxy, fatty substance. It's found in all cells of the body, and it's produced by the liver. Cholesterol plays a really critical role in the body by helping to form cell membranes and produce hormones and aid in the digestion of fats. And when cholesterol levels in the blood become too high, it can lead to buildup of plaque in the arteries, and that can increase risk of heart disease and stroke. We often hear about high cholesterol, bad cholesterol, right? So let's break that down a little bit. Cholesterol is transported in the bloodstream by proteins and lipoproteins, and there are two main types of lipoproteins: low density, LDL, and high density, HDL. So the low density lipoproteins, we giggle because when you study all of these things, we kind of make up acronyms. So Low density lipoproteins are lousy, and high density lipoproteins are happy. It's the age. Anyways, that LDL is often referred to as bad cholesterol, and the high levels can increase risk of heart disease and stroke. While HDL cholesterol is often referred to as good cholesterol or happy cholesterol because it can help to remove the lower density lipoproteins and cholesterol from the bloodstream. So again, we've got a lot of information. Feel free to take a screenshot. But just to go over some quick guidelines for this from the CDC for cholesterol, total cholesterol that's optimal would be less than 200. And the milligrams per deciliter there, you're going to see that referenced a bunch. And that's considered desirable. A level of 200 to 239 is considered borderline high, and a level of 240 or higher is considered high. The LDL cholesterol, often referred to as bad or lousy cholesterol, is less than 100 milligrams per deciliter. Again, that's optimal. And a level of 100 to 129 is considered near or above optimal. A level of 130 or higher is considered high. HDL, often referred to as the good cholesterol, a level of 60 or higher is considered protective against heart disease. So that's what we're aiming for. And a level of 40 or less is considered a major risk factor for heart disease. And then triglycerides. Optimal is less than 150. That's considered normal. And a level of 150 to 199 is considered borderline high. And a level of 200 or higher is considered high. And the lipoproteins are a type of fat, the lipid found in your blood. So they are used as a source of energy by the body. If you want to know more information, there is a ton of information out there. So this is the basics, but they're stored in the body and they are in fat cells produced by the liver also and found in certain foods, especially those that are high in saturated and trans fats, sugars, and alcohols. So high level of triglycerides in the blood are associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, and that can go back to that healthy eating.
Yep. Yeah, which also healthy eating ties in with blood sugar, right? So blood sugar, also known as blood glucose, refers to the amount of sugar present in the blood. So glucose is the main source of energy for your body's cells, and it comes from the food you eat. So after you eat a meal, your body breaks down the carbohydrates in the food into glucose, which is absorbed into the bloodstream. Your pancreas then produces a hormone called insulin, which helps your cells take the glucose and they use it for energy. And this process helps keep your blood sugar levels in a healthy range. However, if your body doesn't produce enough insulin, or if your cells become resistant to insulin, your blood sugar levels can rise too high. And this can lead to a condition called hyperglycemia, which can cause a range of health problems over time. In addition, the high blood sugar levels, and specifically over time, can lead to damage to blood vessels and increase the risk of heart disease. So we definitely want to keep an eye on those. Now, the American Heart Association provides the following guidelines for blood sugar levels and heart health. So we have fasting blood glucose, which is where you haven't eaten recently before the test. And a normal fasting blood glucose level is typically considered to be less than 100 milligrams per deciliter. A level of 100 to 125 is considered to be pre-diabetic, and a level of 126 or higher on 2 separate occasions is considered to be diabetic. And then we also have the hemoglobin A1C. A lot of us are familiar with the A1C test as a test for diabetes. And this provides an average of those blood glucose levels over the past 2 to 3 months. So a level less than 5.7% is considered normal, while a level of 5.7 to 6.4% is considered pre-diabetic, and a level of 6.5 or higher is considered to be diabetic. So managing blood sugar levels is exceptionally important for heart health, and the American Heart Association recommends that individuals with diabetes or pre-diabetes aim for a A1C, HbA1c, all those letters, they run together sometimes. You want to keep that level below 7% to reduce the risk of heart disease. And they also recommend doing this by maintaining a healthy diet, engaging in regular physical exercise, and taking medications as prescribed to manage blood sugar levels. All those things we've been talking about that are heart healthy behaviors.
Yeah, we can make such an impact. We really can. The last one that we're going to talk about today is BMI, which is a measurement of body fat based on height and weight. We've all pretty much heard of BMI, and it's a recognized measurement that a high BMI can increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other health problems. So there is an association there. The BMI is widely used as an indicator of whether someone's weight is within a healthy range for their height. And we can look at different types of additional biometrics here, including weight circumference, and that can determine heart health by measuring the risk of obesity in inches. So the numbers that we need to know, risk decreases in women with waist circumference less than 35 inches, and in men less than 40 inches. We want to know the lipid profile numbers, again, optimal levels of cholesterol and triglycerides, and that can vary depending on a person's individual risk factors, such as age, gender, and medical history, and their physical activity and lifestyle. So as we spoke about before, aerobic activity, strength training, stress reduction, and sleep all impact overall BMI and overall health.
Don't have to tell me I get to get
sleep. I feel like it's one thing we might not be spending too much time on because there's a in the future, I have a feeling. The formula for calculating BMI, and there's a lot of really great digital resources for this, but if you feel like doing the math, is weight in pounds divided by height in inches squared multiplied by 703. So the resulting number is then compared to standard BMI ranges to determine where an individual falls on that scale. The standard BMI ranges, according to the World Health Organization, are in this really cool graphic, but as you can see, underweight would be less than 18.5, normal weight between 18.5 and 24.9, overweight is 25 to 29.9, obesity class 1 is 30 to 34.9, obesity class 2 is 35 to 39.9, and obesity class 3 is 40 or higher. So I have a little disclaimer. While BMI can be a very useful tool for assessing weight status, it is not always an accurate indicator of body fat or overall health. For example, BMI doesn't take into account any factors like muscle mass or body composition. And we really do want to make sure that we're paying attention to the individuality of our clients when we think about their body composition. Additionally, individuals with a high BMI may have higher risk for certain health conditions, but it does not necessarily mean that they have these conditions or that they will develop them. Very healthy people have a high BMI. So overall, BMI is a helpful starting point. It can assess the weight status and identify potential health risks. But as always, it should be used in conjunction with other factors, body composition, medical history, lifestyle habits, and all of those working in conjunction with medical professionals can determine an individual's overall health status or risk. It's all really important.
Yeah. Now, it would be great if coaching was always smooth sailing and we came in, clients had a plan that always went to plan, we worked the plan, it was great, but we're humans and it doesn't work that way. The human experience is very, very different, right? So we might run into some potential challenges in the coaching relationship as we work with clients with cardiovascular conditions. So we're going to run through some of those, and I'll always give you some tangible tools to walk away with. So one of those potential challenges could be navigating the client's knowledge and understanding. So as coaches, we always want to start with asking our clients what they know about their condition, because that's what's important. Do they understand it? Are they comfortable with it? You know, what questions do they have? What would they know more about? How can we support their understanding more? We want to be there as a resource and allow the client to continue to drive the conversation. So the client may have limited knowledge of their cardiovascular health and the factors that contribute to it. The coach may need to step back and take a moment to educate the client, provide resources to help them understand their condition better, help them understand how to manage it. And it can be something as simple as just saying, it's okay if you don't have all the answers or you don't understand everything. It is kind of overwhelming. What questions do you have about your condition? Let's explore those together and find answers that will best support you. I mean, how nourishing would that be to be in that conversation and have someone say that to you when you're feeling a little overwhelmed?
Absolutely. I love that you just used the word nourishing. I think that that's really the
Yeah.
basis, right? We just want to nourish our clients. Another, potential challenge is their adherence to lifestyle changes, and changing unhealthy habits can be really difficult. Clients might struggle to stick to a healthy diet or exercise regularly or managing their stress, and they might experience frustration with their progress. The client might become frustrated if they don't see progress as quickly as they would like, and a coach might need to provide encouragement, support, and motivation to help that client stay on track, keep going, that give them that motivation, and also continue making positive change. And that could sound something like, hey, remember, it's okay to slip up sometimes. Let's focus on progress. These are all of the things that you've done, and list them. Let's focus on that progress and not perfection, and we'll keep moving forward together. So honoring that person where they're at, and again, nourishing that transition.
Yeah. And then specifically understanding of cardiovascular health. I know we talked about navigating their knowledge and understanding, but that can be really broad about lifestyle factors. That could be about, something their clinician said that wasn't directly related to heart health, but really making sure that they have that understanding specifically for cardiovascular health if they have a need to understand it further, right? It's great for all of us to know a basic understanding, but definitely if you have a cardiovascular condition, you want to dive deep here. So clients may have limited knowledge of whatever their doctor has told them, and they may have limited knowledge on the factors that contribute to it. And it can take time and education to help them understand their biometrics and the importance of monitoring and managing them. It's why it's really important for us as coaches to be comfortable and confident in those biometrics and in the language that is used around it. So just simply being familiar with the different cardiovascular conditions, the different biometrics we use, the different resources that you could leverage with your clients, and having those available with the American Heart Association, with the CDC. We're going to give a couple of other ones later too, but having those accessible and then assessing their knowledge. And again, saying something like, education and understanding are key to managing your condition effectively. Let's make sure you have all the resources that you need to succeed. What do you feel like you need to understand better about your biometrics and cardiovascular health? Let's work on those areas together. And that allows you to tap into that and then have the opportunity to provide resources if needed.
Absolutely. I have so many ideas I want to share right now. I'm going to keep going. Clients with cardiovascular conditions, we all know of folks who have cardiovascular conditions along with other comorbidities. So we really want to address that as well. Some cardiovascular conditions plus diabetes plus high blood pressure can make it really challenging to develop a comprehensive coaching plan. And it can make it challenging for the client too, to kind of feel like they're juggling so many things. So when we work with someone who has comorbidities, we might want to say, gosh, it sounds like you're managing a lot of multiple conditions, and that can be super challenging. But what would it feel like to develop a plan together that addresses all of these various needs? What strategies have worked for you in managing your other conditions? Let's see how we can apply these to your heart health as well. And this might uncover some really secret things. Maybe that person has been eating vegetables more, and now they are diagnosed with cardiovascular condition and they want to add in exercise. So we're going to find their strengths and then keep moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we can always have side effects from medication. So clients who take medication to control their biometrics may experience different side effects, such as fatigue or maybe muscle weakness, and that can impact their ability to stick to their goals. So maybe they have an exercise goal, right? But if they're feeling fatigued or muscle weakness, it's hard to commit to that and move forward. So the coach may need to work with the client to find alternative strategies or adjustments to the plan that takes into effect these side effects. They also can help the client come up with a goal to create a list or a log to track these side effects, to then have that conversation with their clinician around them. So this could look a ton of different ways, but if you were working on that plan, say the exercise plan, and the client's having the side effects, you could say something like, I understand that side effects can be frustrating. Let's work on a plan that takes into account any limitations you may be experiencing right now. How has your medication impacted your ability to exercise? Could you tell me more about that? And then let's see if we can find alternative activities that work for you.
So great. There's so many examples here. This is like,
I
it's
know.
so rich. Clients might find that they have really busy schedules, most of us do, and limited time for self-care. So we want to include healthy habits and regular exercise, but they might say that they don't have time for it. And we can really kind of support a client through that process and the thinking around time by saying something, or, you know, supporting them with like, what activities or habits do you already enjoy that you could contribute to your cardiovascular health? Let's explore these ways that you might maximize your time and make it work for you to find that exercise or movement that you really enjoy.
And of course, it would be great if you ask these really powerful questions and they are ready to make those changes and do it. But
Right.
Sometimes clients, just like the rest of us, I know I fall in this sometimes too, there's a resistance to change. So some clients may be sitting in that resistance, especially if they've been living with whatever their unhealthy habit lifestyle factor is for a long time. And it can be challenging to motivate them to make those lifestyle changes and then stick to that coaching plan that they're putting together. So we may have to explore the client's reasons for resistance and dig into that, have a conversation. Again, if you have built that rapport, you have built that safe space, it's going to be really natural for this conversation to happen. And then you can work with them to find strategies to overcome that. So one thing I know I talk about with clients a lot that are having this resistance to change is that a lot of times we think that we have to have the motivation to then put the action into place. But studies actually show that it's the reverse. We have to start taking action for the motivation to come along a lot of times. So that can be a great conversation. But even saying something like, what would motivate you to make changes? Let's identify what's holding you back and find ways to overcome these obstacles. I hear you saying how important it is to you to move forward. Something as simple as just calling it out.
Absolutely. And finally, coach confidence. We've spoken a little bit to this, but being aware of these challenges, health coaches can confidently work with their scope and their clients to develop these realistic and achievable goals and support the client to overcome these obstacles along the way. They will come up. We always face these obstacles. And so regular communication, regular follow-up, focusing on small incremental changes, all can help our clients make sustainable lifestyle changes and improve their cardiovascular health. And this is from an empowered and supported, and again, coming back to that word Ashlee used, like a really nourished place. It's so important.
Yeah. And of course, there are tools that we can leverage with clients, right? There are specific, tangible tools we can touch and feel and use. So let's dive into some of those. So one is encouraging regular checkups and follow-up appointments. This might sound something that's out of our scope, but it's absolutely within to ask them to lean on those professional resources. Encourage your clients to have regular checkups with their healthcare provider. This is going to monitor your biometrics. It's going to help them take control of their blood pressure, their cholesterol, their blood sugar levels, all of these risk factors for heart disease.
Absolutely. And it goes right along with like some of the things we spoke about, at home monitoring. You know, again, we're not clinicians, we're not monitoring, but really helping them to understand what they are monitoring. And maybe they use a blood pressure monitor at home or other monitoring device to track their own biometrics on a regular basis so that they can notice and identify those patterns. And that kind of goes right along with keeping a log, encouraging them to keeping a log of their biometric readings at any time can help them to identify those changes that might be occurring. And that can be moving in the right direction, and, you know, their numbers are improving and they're feeling really motivated by that. And it can also be a red flag to something that they weren't expecting.
Yeah, and that's a place where a health coach can really shine. I know back, you know, when I was pregnant with my babies, I had to monitor my blood pressure throughout the pregnancy at home, and I would forget it all the time. And I wish I'd had a health coach come along to walk me through what I needed to do to remember to do that and help me set up a plan. It would have been great because all I had was the doctor going, "You have to remember," and me going, "I don't know how." I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, you're getting all kinds of personal tidbits here today. Also, we can help with diet and exercise, right? We've already talked about what we can and can't do within our scope, but emphasizing the importance of diet and exercise and managing their health and encouraging clients to make healthy changes in these areas will improve those biometrics, right? And that ties in nicely to stress management. So we can discuss the impact of stress. I know, we can discuss the impact of stress on cardiovascular health. I know, Rowan, you went into this really deeply, so I just want to touch on it, but providing those practical tips for managing stress, such as mindfulness and physical activity. And I know you have a great tool to share with us for this.
Oh yeah, let's do it. So one really simple, very, very simple thing we can do is called box breathing technique. And let's just try it together now. This is something we can all walk our clients through by inhaling for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 4, and hold out for the count of 4. And again, this comes with a disclaimer. If the client is not interested, then obviously you wouldn't want to do that. And sometimes different types of breath work can just be really uncomfortable for people. They don't want to do it. So again, always getting permission, asking if they're interested. If they are, and at this moment, let's just assume they are, we can inhale for the count of 4 together. Hold. Exhale. And hold. You can do that as many times as you like. You'll notice just one breath together as a community, and we kind of really can come back to center. So I'd also like to mention that, one of the other tools we can leverage is managing medication, and we are not managing the medication, but if it's necessary, we can encourage our clients to work with their healthcare provider to manage any medication prescribed, to control some of these biometrics and improve their health. And remember, even if you do know about these medications or even take them yourself, please stay in scope and remember to refer them back to their healthcare provider for any advice around medications.
Yeah, which ties in nicely with that regular follow-up, right? Encourage those regular follow-ups with their clinicians. And then you can make adjustments to the coaching plan based on the feedback they get from them. Also, it can be really helpful to build a robust library of resources. So utilize those resources from the American Heart Association, the CDC, the National Lung, Blood, and Heart Institute, or even Million Hearts. Those are all great resources to use. And by tracking those biometrics and using the information to then inform your coaching conversations, we help those clients improve their cardiovascular health and reduce their risk of heart disease and stroke, which is what we're all trying to do. Help them to be happier and healthier humans, right? Which ties into, of course, you've heard us mention it a couple of times, protect your scope of practice. We want to do right by our clients, and part of that is sitting firmly within our scope and knowing when to refer out, right? Remember that little phrase, when in doubt, refer out. I love that because it's so succinct and really speaks to it. So you are going to have clients who come to you and they're probably going to ask you for advice, right? It's so much easier to ask someone to tell you what to do when you're feeling overwhelmed than to try to sit back and parse through all that information, which we are perfectly equipped to do, but we can't tell them exactly what to do. We can't give medical advice. We can't prescribe anything to them. So how do we stay within our scope of practice? The first way is just be honest. Be honest with clients about the scope as your role as a health and wellness coach. Explain that you're not a medical professional. You cannot diagnose, prescribe, advise, or treat medical conditions. You can, however, do a lot of things. You can walk alongside them as they navigate adding that other care partner to the team or implementing plans that they've gotten from their clinician. You can help them understand all of the materials and action plans that the clinician has given them and set up a personalized plan to move forward with it, where they can go in confidence. And that could sound just as easy as saying, it's tough to navigate all of the information, and it's understandable that you're feeling overwhelmed and looking for guidance and suggestions on managing this condition. My role as a health and wellness coach is to support and empower you in making lifestyle changes that can improve your overall health. If you need specific medical advice or interventions, it's important to work with a qualified healthcare provider, as it would be outside of my scope as a health and wellness coach. But I can provide you resources and support to encourage what you have been given or help you find the appropriate medical care you feel you need. How does that sound? Always keep it client-focused and client-driven. What do they feel is their next best step to improve their condition?
Absolutely. And bringing that that provider into the conversation. That collaboration is so important. So we want to emphasize the importance of working with a healthcare provider for medical advice and intervention, and explain that a healthcare provider can perform comprehensive evaluations, and they can diagnose, they can treat, and they can develop that treatment plan. And we can be alongside, we can be a support. And that might sound something like, really sharing with your client, I want to make sure that you receive the best possible care for your health needs. And while I can offer resources and support, a healthcare provider can perform a really comprehensive evaluation, diagnose medical conditions, and develop a treatment plan that takes into account your individual medical history. And that's, again, it's like so individualized to that one person. And we want to make sure that we're staying within our scope so that we can support them to get the true diagnostics and the care that they need. And so working together to find those ways that we can put that plan in place, might say, like, I really want to support you. Let's put that plan in place together for the ways that work best for you.
Yep, absolutely. And that leads right into what we're talking about, making the referral. We all know sometimes we have to. We've talked about how to do that. You might have specialists in your area that you lean on if you coach in person. If you coach digitally and you're not in the same geographical vicinity as your client, maybe you have more national resources that you can refer them to, or empower them to reach out to a local provider. And that can be as simple as saying something like, hey, based on your concerns you have about your blood pressure, it sounds like you may benefit from speaking with a healthcare provider about your symptoms. I can help you find a trusted provider in your area, or you can reach out to your primary care physician for a referral. It's important to receive a comprehensive evaluation that takes into account all of your concerns and your medical history. And then we can work together to develop a plan for moving forward based on the treatment plan the doctor provides. Super easy. And of course, when you do make that referral, document the referral. We don't necessarily have to put in, exactly when their appointment is and everything else. If they choose to share that with you, you can of course put that in there. But we want to, if we refer to any resources or to any physicians, clinicians, anything like that, we just want to make a note of it because we want to have that conversation. We want to have that follow up, which is the next part.
Yeah, and we always want to make sure that we want to follow up with our clients. Our next presentation next month is about re-engaging and keeping that engagement. We always want to stay connected. And this is a really wonderful way to just show that we really care. We want to know what happened. So following up with the client to see if they did receive that medical advice or intervention, if they needed it, is so necessary. And if they request, we can also help to connect the client with additional resources, like Ashlee said. And that might sound something like, I really know managing a cardiovascular condition is super challenging. And I want to check in and see how you're doing after your cardiologist appointment I know that you had last week. I'm here to support you in any way I can. Would it be helpful to chat about next steps? Again, this can uncover a whole wealth of knowledge that maybe the doctor shared with them and they're ready to take the next step towards health. So by being honest, staying in scope, referring clients to a provider when it's necessary or when requested, health and wellness coaches can ensure that they receive the care that they need. Their clients receive the care they need, and these conditions can be managed. It also protects our integrity and our coaching practice when we stay in scope. It's really important.
Yeah, and I know we're just a few minutes over. We are almost to the end, but I did want to call that out. So if you have a chance to stick with us, we are almost there. And we really want to share this next piece because there's a growing body of research that suggests that health coaches can be effective in helping clients with cardiovascular conditions improve their health outcomes. We're not just saying it because we personally believe in the power of health coaching. Science also believes in it. And the evidence suggests that health coaches can play a valuable role in helping clients with cardiovascular conditions make meaningful changes to their lifestyle and medication management, thus leading them to improved health outcomes. If you haven't had a chance to check out our health coaching report, I highly recommend that you do. It is a very robust resource with a lot of rich content. And the report is packed with valuable information directed towards the science of health coaching. In fact, the next two slides we're going to go through in the presentation reference studies directly from the report. So you can find all of the resources in there. And you can find that just by going to our website, YourCoach.health, scrolling down to the very bottom, selecting reports. And this is version 2. We have 2 versions of it now. We had one a couple of years ago and the new one. So of the 12 studies that we examined on health coaching effectiveness in disease treatment, 11 revealed significant improvements in patient outcomes. Specifically, the group that received health coaching had an overall lower risk of heart disease and other positive outcomes. This included improvements in healthy behaviors such as better diet and increased exercise, as well as improved mental well-being, which is such an awesome other component to this. And it included lowered anxiety levels, because it can be anxiety inducing when you are either a risk factor or diagnosed with a new health concern. These findings demonstrate the immense value that health coaching can provide in helping patients achieve those better health outcomes. But wait, there's more.
There's always more. In a 2017 study, we found that, it was found that health coaching can effectively reduce both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. And that makes it a really promising approach to managing hypertension and high blood pressure. So additionally, 5 out of the 6 studies that were reviewed showed that health coaching resulted in positive changes in nutrition behavior as well. Other outcomes that were addressed in studies involving hypertensive patients included a perceived daily quality of care, which is so fascinating, again, leading to that anxiety reduction, medication adherence, avoidable hospitalizations, and cost savings, some of those topics we brought up in the beginning. And these findings demonstrate the broad range of benefits that health coaching can provide for patients with hypertension, from improving their nutrition to reducing healthcare costs. It's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. So time for the key takeaways. This hour has flown. So key takeaway number 1, it's essential for health and wellness coaches to have a strong understanding of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular conditions to provide effective support to clients. We will coach clients who have risk factors or have heart disease. The numbers don't lie. We're going to encounter it. We have to be ready.
Absolutely. Key takeaway number 2, heart disease is prevalent and has a significant impact on overall health. It makes it important for us coaches to have a solid understanding of these conditions and the role of lifestyle factors in the prevention and management of heart conditions with our clients.
Yep. And takeaway number 3, my favorite, research studies have demonstrated the effectiveness of health coaching on behavioral modification and lifestyle interventions, and this leads to an improvement in cardiovascular health. Health and wellness coaches should incorporate best practices such as goal setting, behavioral change strategies, and support throughout the coaching process, as well as stay within our scope of practice to help our clients have the best outcomes. If you aren't part of our coaching community, we would love to have you join. As a matter of fact, this week you're going to notice a very new resource that will be available in our coaching resources folder. We love to empower our coaches, and it's going to be conveniently available to all coaches on the YourCoach platform right within the library in the coaching resources folder. And this resource is a biometric resource that lists out all the biometrics we included here, as well as many others that are helpful to know as health and wellness coaches. We're super excited to continue adding resources for you to leverage with your clients and impact real life change in your coaching practice. We're passionate about the health coaching revolution, and we would love to have you join us if you're not on the platform already. And then you can take part of these resources as well. We're in the App Store, Google Play, and from any web browser at yourcoach.health. As well, the link for the quiz, if you search for a CEU ticket, that will come out via email to everyone that has that CEU ticket within the next 24 hours. So with that, Rowan, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. If anyone has any questions, you can definitely send them over to us at team@yourcoach.health, and we will definitely formulate some answers to that, maybe a blog post, we'll see, or we'll get back with you. It has been so much fun. Thank you again.
So much fun. Thanks, everyone.